In this video, I'm taking a look at this bone conduction headset. Alright, so bone conduction, we'll talk about that in a moment, but first, the box that it arrives in. So it's actually packaged really well. Looks pretty nice. Make a nice gift, I imagine. You have your Type-C charging cable. A small user guide. And a set of earplugs. Now the reason for the earplugs, if you're listening to this in a very noisy area, you're going to want to put the earplugs in because you're not going to be able to hear these as well potentially. But the great thing about these in that regard is if you're in an area that you need to have awareness of your surroundings, then having something like this as opposed to something that is in your ear and not wearing the earbuds to block out sound would be good, because if you're running down the side of the road, for example, you want to hear vehicles in the area, or even if you're just running in the park, maybe you want to know that there's people around and you can hear them better, then this is going to allow for that type of situation really well. If you turn these up really loud, the potential for sound bleeding out to other people, of course, is going to be a thing. So you want to keep that in mind. You're not going to get the absolute best music sound from this, but that's not the ideal. Not going to be for someone who cares about audio and music and things like that, just because of the nature of the design of the product. It's not in your ear, on your ear, or over your ear. It's kind of beside your ear, and it uses bone conduction, so it kind of vibrates through the actual bone, and it's actually very comfortable to wear because they're not very heavy, and you just kind of have them placed right there on the bone, right on the top of the jawbone, top of the mandible there. So it takes about 2 hours of charging. You get about 6 hours of usage, and it sort of has a rubbery type feel, and you can see it's very springy, and again very lightweight, so not a problem. It does have a waterproof aspect, or water resistant aspect. That means sweat and even light rain shouldn't cause a real issue. And all of the controls are on one side, so when you're wearing these, they're going to be on your right hand side. And you have power and your play pause, as well as your assistant for your device. So whatever device it's connected to, you could pull up Siri, for example. And then you have your volume and track navigation buttons on the bottom, as well as your charging port right there. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Obviously I can't convey the sound to you, but maybe not the best for some people for music, if you have to have the absolute best sound for music, but it's not their intended usage. So if you buy these going in with the proper expectations, you should be happy. If you expect these to be the #1 best sounding replacement for all other headphones you own, that's not going to be the ideal behind these. It's just really cool how it works. You can kind of hear the sound, but it's through this vibration. So it's a different experience, but it's pretty neat. And you should be able to use these really well for like your phone calls or audio books, podcasts, things like that, and music. Just again, keep in mind, you're not going to get the same quality of sound you would if you had some higher end, over the ear or in ear type setup. But the only other thing that's kind of awkward about things like this, because even though it's really soft, it is rigid. So if you have these on, and it may or may not bother you as much depending upon where it is located, but as you can see, it kind of sticks out away from your head just a little in the back. So if you lay back against a high back chair, or if you were to lay down, it's going to put pressure on that. It's going to push these, and it's going to move them around. It's not going to move too much because it hits the back of your ear, which could be uncomfortable in that situation, but otherwise shouldn't be a problem when you're running or what have you. But just one thing to keep in mind. So that's pretty much it. If you want to find out more about these, you can check out more information via the link below. Thanks for watching.